Providing hints for partially correct answers is also very important for a learner's way of learning how to learn basic debugging skills. So here what we have is a basic program, and then it says that there is an error in this particular program. So, but the second step here is that, alright, I want to be able to figure out what is the error. And in this case, alright, if the student didn't do anything, it will actually not provide any significant hints. Now, partially correctness means that actually that the student actually have some hint or some idea or some hunch about what exactly went wrong. So the student can actually highlight a particular line because they have a suspicion that there's something wrong with this line. So they highlight it. So you can see that the plugin actually provides more hints, and that you're actually on the right track. And that actually what you need to do is that you have to check the terminating condition of the for loop. As you can see, alright, this particular puzzle actually is actually asking you, alright, to set a watch point on a variable valid character, valid char, which you can see, which is on line 5. And sometimes what you could do is, as a tester, you could actually set a question at one of the steps here. So the main functionality of a watch point is that you want to catch the number of times a particular variable is being accessed. So the student can actually run through this application, watch the watch points in action, and then what the teacher can do is actually put in test the learner. So in this case, the answer is actually 2. So 3 is not the correct answer, and 2 is the correct answer. So this is an example where we are trying to make use of the core hierarchy that is available in Eclipse. So what I will do now is I'll open the core hierarchy window. Okay, so now the window, as you can see here, is open. So once I manage to do that, you will ask me to that is a correct step. Alright, keep it up. And the second step here is, okay, I have in my code, alright, a method called multiply by 5. So here what I need to do is I need to figure out which, alright, method is calling multiply by 5, which essentially is a functionality of the core hierarchy feature. Right. So in this case, this is an Eclipse feature, so as you can see, it's built in, and it can tell me that the main method is actually calling multiply by 5. And then what you can do is check that whether you complete this task. So the plugin allows you to interact with all the various different debugging features that Eclipse provides. Now what I've done here is I loaded another puzzle called print the lines. As you can see, this is a very simple Java program, and there are 3 variables in line 15, 17, and 19. 3 variables: text, profit, and commission. Now the aim of this exercise, as you can see from the plugin here, is that it's just to ask the learner to do basic logging using system.out.println. So what I'll do is I'll actually provide a partially correct answer, which is actually something like this. Alright, that actually yes, I'm using system.out.println by just printing the literal string text and not the variable itself. So what I did was that I actually highlighted this line of code, and based on what I've highlighted, as you can see now, it provides actually 2 hints that not only do you need to figure out how system.out.println works, that you actually have to print out not just the literal string text but the variable as well, as you can see here from the first hint. So this particular section here, alright, as you can see here, is a XML text, and that is actually to describe the entire puzzle itself. And you can see here there are actually 3 different steps, and these 3 steps, breakpoint, hit, and expression, actually actually is the same 3 steps that you see here. So as somebody who wants to create puzzles, you can actually use an XML editor, although it's actually possible to create a Java program, which is actually what I did. So a Java program that I also have exposed some APIs to add these particular steps, and it's actually quite easy to create a Windows or Swing program, and then you call that API to generate the XML file. So what you can do here is that you are supposed to actually replicate the error, and you can create this kind of programs, and that you actually have to guess, or you actually have to look through error logs and things like that. So in this particular example, right, there won't be a lot of errors, especially if the input is short. But in this case, all right, there's no error, and this particular task is not completed. So you can see that there's actually a hint here that you actually have to try different combinations of inputs. So in this case, all right, what the person who is doing this program, who is testing out this program, needs to do is actually to try out a name that is very long. And sometimes in commercial programs, this is actually something that may actually cause a problem if you're not careful. So, and what you can do then is just to verify that you actually replicated the error.